of the opponent. But anybody that's watched Terence Crawford's career knows full well how much talent this young man has. I mean, he is absolutely sensational, both as an orthodox and as a southpaw fighter. You can't really tell which is his favoured side.
He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage. Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division.
But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
ESPN commentators Dan Rafael and Stephen A. Smith discuss why Terence Crawford would likely dominate Canelo Alvarez. They argue that although Canelo was once known for his granite chin, recent bouts have exposed cracks in his defense with him. Absorbing more clean shots, Crawford's blend of slick footwork, precise timing, and knockout power presents a nightmare scenario in their eyes. Crawford owns the exact skill set needed to outbox and hurt Canelo convincingly.
I think Terence Crawford is a marvelous boxer, arguably the best in the world, pound for pound. But can you hurt Canelo? If you can't hurt him, I have no doubt he can outbox him. My issue is, if you can't hurt him, what kind of a challenge can you truly pose? What do you say to that?
No, that's a great point. I mean, here's the thing. Canelo Alvarez has a historically great chin. Now, I go way back when he first came to the United States and started boxing, and he found himself on an HBO pay-per-view undercard years and years ago, fighting against the older brother of the great Miguel Cotto. His name was Jose Miguel Cotto, and he had gotten a ton of hype. He had signed with Golden Boy Promotions, and a lot of those of us in the media. And I had seen him a couple of times before that. This is my first time seeing him in person, really paying close attention. And he almost got knocked out in the first round. And I remember Stephen A., all of us looking around at Media Row going, what the heck is this all hyped about? This man can't take a shot. He's going to get drilled. He was lucky that the fight was over, that the round was over in round 1, or there might have been some much more trouble. Stephen A., that was 16, 17 years ago. I've never seen him wobbled, rocked, physically, visibly hurt since then. He has an all-time great chin going in the ring with tremendous punchers. Terence Crawford coming up 2 weight classes, do any damage. Yeah, he's a slick boxer, and he's also a good puncher in the welterweight division, in the junior welterweight division, in the lightweight division. But even at junior middleweight, which is where Terence Crawford had his most recent fight back in August, when he moved up and he won a world title, he didn't blow the doors off. He fought a very tough, solid opponent named Israel Madrimov. He gave him a good fight. It was very close. Madrimov's people seem to think he might have even been able to edge it out. But if you can't hurt an Israel Madrimov at 154, what the heck are you going to do with Canelo Alvarez, the sturdiest guy in the world, at 168? So that aspect of it is certainly a problem. You mentioned about Charlo. Charlo was there to get his check. I know one thing about Terence Crawford. He's not going to just come to turn up to get the check. He'll at least try. And Charlo, I don't think, really tried.
Stephen A. Smith takes a firm stance when weighing in on the looming Crawford versus Canelo fight. He firmly sides with Crawford, expressing total belief in his ability to emerge victorious. For Smith, Crawford's edge lies not just in his refined technique, but in his hunger to secure such a defining win. He underscores how Crawford's mentality and relentless drive will heavily shape the outcome. Smith's confidence reflects how highly he regards Crawford's ambition and his unyielding preparation.
You got a love for boxing.
Yes, love
Who
boxing.
gonna win the fight, man? That's coming up, the biggest
Crawford.
fight in boxing.
Crawford.
Huh?
Crawford. I'm not hesitating. Crawford. I'm not even hesitating. Crawford.
You gonna stand on that all the way to September 13th?
I love Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo. Crawford will beat Canelo by decision. I can't see anybody knocking out Canelo Alvarez. But I do believe that if you can box and you can move, that you can beat Canelo. You can outpoint him.
That's right.
When I think about Canelo, one of the things that I don't like about Canelo, despite his greatness, and a neck as wide as Broadway for crying out loud.
Right.
It's like almost every shot has to be a power shot.
It's a power shot, yeah.
That's not beating Crawford. I will confess, I think Gervonta Davis's trainer, Cal, I think he said this. He said Crawford could find himself in trouble if he decides to engage with Canelo, because Canelo is the naturally bigger, strong fighter. And I don't care that Crawford's gotten bigger, and I don't care that Crawford's gonna go in there just as big as Canelo. Canelo is accustomed to fighting at the weight, and Crawford is not. And Canelo is a genius in this regard. You don't see him show up for fights not ready. He's always ready.
always prepared.
He's always ready.
He's
always prepared. So I think he's the slower fighter, though. And I think that Crawford is brilliant as a boxer. And I think that between switching to conventional and southpaw, using his jab and movement, I think that Crawford is going to outpoint Canelo because he's faster. But I don't think he's gonna knock him.
Teddy Atlas strengthens the case for Crawford by stressing the principle of skill surpassing size. He insists that physical advantages like reach or weight cannot outweigh superior technique. Atlas describes Crawford's style as one built on accuracy, adaptability, and timing traits that overshadow raw strength. In his opinion, Canelo's power and bulk lose effectiveness when pitted against a fighter who dismantles opponents. With ring IQ and technical mastery, his take reinforces the idea that boxing expertise can erase physical disadvantage in major contest.
Maybe he's a little overrated.
Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds.
Canelo's really good. Really good. But I think Crawford is special. I know he hasn't fought the resume everyone wants, but you have that or you don't have that ingredient. I think he has it. Canelo's really good. He's tremendous. But could he be a tiny bit overrated? The greatness is within Crawford. It's in his desire. It's in his mind. It's in his makeup, where he came from. I know he's moving up in weight class. Can he carry it? But those intangibles, I believe that he has them.
Bernstein focuses on another of Crawford's strengths, his unpredictability. He explains that Crawford refuses to rely on a fixed game plan, instead making adjustments mid-bout that leave opponents second-guessing. Against someone like Canelo, who thrives on timing and counters, this adaptability becomes a major hurdle. Bernstein also highlights Crawford's ability to fluidly switch between orthodox and southpaw stances, creating extra challenges. This versatility keeps Canelo guessing and increases the chance of him getting caught by punches he doesn't anticipate.
Most fans or most people would probably say Crawford, I'm guessing, because that's a big part of how he's won, and everybody feels that and rightfully so, that the way he's figured out, he's constantly changing from lefty to righty. He's a person that alters his attack. Sometimes he's a boxer. Sometimes he's walking people down. Canelo's style is more the same in most fights. He is a counterpuncher who's waiting for you to make your move so he can counterpunch you. Then when he has you in trouble, he's willing to move forward. His attack is a pretty straightforward one. On the face of it, you might say Crawford, but I think the thing about Canelo Alvarez is that he has seen every style that you can see.
Gareth A. Davies emphasizes Crawford's depth of experience, noting that the American has been fighting professionally for more than 15 years. This longevity sharpened his instincts, polished his ring intelligence, and built composure under pressure. Davies points out that Crawford's resume is filled with consistent success against high-level competition. Over his career, he has solved the puzzles of heavy punchers, slick movers, and gritty veterans, always adapting to win. His patience and tactical brilliance have earned him recognition as one of boxing's most complete fighters. Davies argues this level of experience grants him an undeniable edge going into a clash with Canelo.
The levels that he's gone through, the weights that he's gone through, and the opponents that he has been in with, he's come up short against a couple, but he's come through some big challenges as well through his, 65, 66 professional bouts since he was 15 years of age. There's no doubt that this is the biggest test of Terence Crawford's career, not only because of the weight step up, but also because of the level of the opponent. But anybody that's watched Terence Crawford's career knows full well how much talent this young man has. He is absolutely sensational, both as an orthodox and as a southpaw fighter. You can't really tell which is his favoured side. He's that good, the angles that he creates, and the way that he not only dissects people, but the way that he puts his foot down when he gets somebody hurt is
he's spiteful.
He's truly, truly impressive.
But what he also does, and this is where I think people are making the mistake with the fight with Israel Madrimov last summer in Los Angeles, was that Terence doesn't mind doing enough to win. He doesn't, if he knows he's got to win on points, he's happy to tuck everything neatly in the office and win round by round. It reminds me of Floyd Mayweather. It reminds me of Pernell Whitaker. It reminds me of guys that win with ease without overstretching themselves, that don't have to get in a battle. But when he's got someone hurt, as you rightly say, he's spiteful. I'm not sure he'll get Canelo hurt in this fight. But if his timing and his movement are on, the slightly slowed Canelo, who likes to load up these days, could find himself frustrated by Terence Crawford.
Yeah, and there's also the aspect of when he is behind. We've all seen that famous clip where he's fighting Shawn Porter. Somebody tells him ringside, they've got him down on the cards. He goes through the gears and stops Shawn Porter in the very next round. There's also that element to him. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant, but he's also fighting someone that's equally as brilliant. A very different type of style, Canelo.
And a fan favorite.
Confidence emerges as a recurring theme when examining Crawford. One analyst explains that his sparring sessions and ring performances leave lasting impressions on coaches and fighters alike. These accounts suggest that even outside official fights, Crawford consistently shows brilliance. His dominance in training reflects discipline and constant readiness. That confidence, born from repeated excellence, boosts his mental strength. Such assurance allows him to enter the ring believing he can outthink and outperform anyone, including Canelo.
Man is so confident. He's so confident that he's about to become undisputed. Listen, 2 weeks to go, less than 2 weeks to go now. What? We're talking about 12 days. 12 days. What can we expect from this unbelievable showdown? Listen, the build-up has been absolutely incredible. When you talk about the sparring stories, when you talk about the unbelievable rumors that we've been hearing for the past 10 to 12 weeks, will but Crawford's power carry? Will Canelo age overnight? So many questions that we have when it comes to this unbelievable fight. But not too long to go, ladies and gentlemen. We are about to find out the truth. We are about to find out who's truly the greatest of this era. And let me tell you this. I said this in most of my videos so far. The more I watch Bud Crawford and the more I watch Canelo Alvarez tape, the more my appreciation for both men increases. Listen, Canelo is the greatest pressure/counter puncher in history when he puts both together. And Crawford is the most dynamic fighters my eyes ever saw. Ever saw. Now, listen to this. The moment this fight got announced, we didn't know the things that we know now. We didn't know about their sparring partners. We didn't know about the shape that they were gonna come in for this fight.
Comedian and boxing enthusiast Aries Spears offered a historical lens on the fight. He recalled decades of clashes, where Mexico's best champions squared off with Americans known for speed and defensive skill. In many cases, the Americans prevailed, due to sharp counters, elusive defense, and rhythm control. Spears acknowledged that Canelo is a well-rounded and seasoned fighter, but he framed this showdown as part of a long tradition of contrasting styles, where adaptability and timing often decide who wins.
Take a top-notch Hispanic fighter, put him against the top-notch black fighter, the black dude usually edges him out. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to the Latino fighters, because look at the greats. De La Hoya, motherfucking
Roberto Duran, Arguello, Felix Trinidad, what's my man's name? Chavez. So there have been legends, but 9 times out of 10, when the top Mexican legend takes on the top black legend, the black dude wins. Boxing and basketball is just something that niggas just, we got that wop that just, we edge you out. Duran lost to Hagler. He got knocked out so viciously by Hearns. Rumor is he's still waking up today. He lost he did the no mas with Leonard. Yeah, no, I've been hanging out with Sugar Ray Leonard recently. We talked about that whole situation.
De La Hoya lost to Floyd. He lost to Bernard. He lost to Sugar Shane Mosley. Usually the black fighters edge out the Latinos when it come down to it.
So basically you're saying Crawford's gonna win because he's black.
I'm saying he's gonna win because he's got skills. But that black component, that's that extra juice.
That's that extra juice? I mean, look.
It's like the Batmobile when it's going fast, and then he hits the nitro button, and the flame shoots out of the back of the car and takes it to another level. Black dudes have the nitro switch.
Meanwhile, Canelo Alvarez maintains his trademark self-assurance. He dismisses the need for validation, insisting his greatness speaks for itself and requires no outside approval. For Canelo, self-belief has always been central to his career. His long record of triumphs against elite opponents underscores that confidence. However, his mindset differs from Crawford's. While Crawford is chasing a legacy-defining win, Canelo sees himself as already established at Boxing Summit.
The performance that you know you're going to have, right? They can't deny you anymore.
I don't know, but I don't give a fuck too. So I feel I'm the best, and that's it. I don't focus on if the people say or put me in the first position, I'm the best. I feel I'm the best. I'm doing because I love boxing.
I call Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. This is my mega fight. This is my moment.
You didn't have much interest in this Crawford fight. You were saying that there wasn't much in it for you, and you pointed out that people will say that he was too small. Well, what changed?
I think he's one of the best fighters for more fun. No, he accomplished a lot of things too. Mexican with the American fighter is always big.
When he fights you at Allegiant Stadium, I imagine it's going to be, 55,000 plus screaming Canelo fans, right? Many from Mexico.
Shawn Porter voices unwavering belief in Crawford's chances against Canelo. He argues Crawford's preparation and mental sharpness are at levels rarely matched in the sport. Porter predicts that Crawford will bring a unique strategy specifically, crafted to neutralize Canelo's strengths. He points to Crawford's quickness, timing, and disciplined execution as the deciding factors on fight night. Porter envisions a performance so complete it could reshape modern boxing's expectations and cement Crawford's place in history. The stakes, however, are monumental. For Crawford, Canelo represents the toughest opponent of his career, making the challenge defining. For Canelo, a loss to a smaller man moving up in weight could stain his otherwise legendary career. In boxing, history judges those moments harshly, especially when a bigger champion falls. That's why for Canelo, winning is not just about pride, it is essential to preserving his standing among the greats.
Canelo's legacy. And he gave a resounding yeah. A resounding yeah. He said it would massively tarnish Canelo's legacy. And some of the things that he said were just basically things that most of us know, just some register and make sure that other people know and others don't, right? But it would tarnish his legacy, and for the obvious reasons. One is we know that the guy's older. Crawford's older. He's going to be 38 years old here, right? So he's an older fighter. He's an active fighter, right? And most of the time, these are things that, make people say that people are going to lose. Man, he's inactive. So he's pretty inactive, hasn't fought in a year, hasn't fought more than once a year in 3 to 4 years, maybe even 5 years. And also, he's coming up in weight.
Showbiz the Adult, a respected boxing analyst, took a balanced view of Crawford versus Canelo. He noted that Canelo's success stems from toughness, strength, and relentless pressure, breaking down opponents with steady counters and endurance. His durability and knack for setting traps make him a constant threat. Yet, Showbiz also pointed out that Crawford's wrestling background gave him exceptional balance, anticipation, and control. Combined with his sharp boxing IQ, these qualities provide Crawford with a rare edge that few fighters can match.
He uses his legs, he uses his core, and then his neck itself to lift up Bivol like Bivol was a featherweight. That is a huge representation of how strong Canelo is. When you look at his workouts, you can tell why he was able to do that. All these damn neck exercises that I wouldn't dare do. Okay, that stuff looks painful. The squatting and all that stuff that he's doing is exactly why Canelo Alvarez, honestly, is a strong fighter. He tried to do it again with William Skull. William Skull shook out of it, but he is a bull. Listen, Terence Bud Crawford is strong. He is, okay? And he understands leverage and he understands those things because he wrestled. Honestly, very true. But Saul Canelo Alvarez is also extremely strong. Now, let me know how you feel in the comments below.
That concludes today's breakdown.